With CSGO's player base decreasing and toxicity increasing, it's time to have a heart-to-heart. My name is Braedon, and welcome to Valve Guides. Today, we are going to be going over 10 reasons why Counter-Strike is not the best that it can necessarily be at this moment in time. We do this not because we hate the game, but because we love it and we want to see CSGO be the best that it can be. Also, we're going to be doing our best to stay neutral and represent the community as a whole, so we at Valve Guides may not necessarily agree on everything that's brought up in this video. However, our goal is to represent the community. Without further ado, let's dig in. Starting off at number 10, we have messy gameplay.
I'm so bad, dude. Oh my god.
Now, we covered this before in our CS 1.6 video, but the rundown here is that CSGO feels a little more clunky and less smooth than the OG CS 1.6 did, to some old school fans claiming that 1.6's hit markers were better and the game's pace was just a whole lot better than CSGO. I know we're kind of beating a dead horse bringing this up over and over again, and admittedly these flaws are inherent to the game and some people may not even agree on it. We're not really going to be hard on this issue because it's kind of a split in the community. Moving on to number 9, balancing issues. Okay, this is the last topic that we're covering that was in our previous video on CS 1.6, we promise. But one thing worth noting about CSGO is just how balanced the game can be and how Valve, in a valiant attempt to fix things, just winds up making things worse more often than not.
So obviously, the thing we all expected, they nerfed the AUG, thank goodness.
Heck, we even made a video fully devoted to that if you want the full rundown. Sadly, these changes with the whole skill thing is that if you have practiced and spent a lot of time tuning your skill for one weapon and it just gets totally revamped or nerfed or whatever, it can really mess with your gameplay and ruin your incentive to come back and keep playing. Whether the changes to the weapon were a good or bad thing is going to be widely debated, but some say that it removes the incentive to actually master your weapon and it reduces incentive to come back and continue practicing. And at number 8, the skin betting ban. Before we start, we should note that we are not defending these practices because political correctness.
Because Valve has helped to create an unregulated international gambling concern with no oversight that targets teenagers, plaintiffs and the class have been damaged.
We simply want to put out that it hurts a large chunk of the community. For a long time, one of the most lucrative things about CSGO was skin betting, in which people could use skins to bet on the outcome of professional matches. Sadly, in June of 2016, it was found that CSGO gambling sites were found doing stuff like underage gambling and undisclosed promotion, and worst of all, outcome rigging. And in response, Valve ordered CSGO gambling sites to shut down, with various sites receiving cease and desists. While we're not going to defend these sites for their skeevy practices, we will acknowledge though that it did hurt a large part of the community and damaged the entire CSGO community as a whole, just kind of ripping it apart, making it look skeevy and corrupt altogether. On top of that, legitimate gamblers lost a source of fun and risk with the loss of skin betting. Even if some of the gamblers did bring it upon themselves, it really leads us to another factor that has taken away from CSGO's quality. Moving on to number 7, scandals. Let's face it, there have been a lot of scandals for CSGO. In fact, CSGO is just one of the more scandalous games out there, even compared to Call of Duty or Halo. You're far less likely to hear about people rigging the outcomes of COD XP for skin gambling or hacking the Halo Championship Series in order to make that snapshot headshot with a sniper rifle from the other side of Coliseum. In comparison, we were able to make an entire list of CSGO scandals, and something tells us it'll get a whole lot uglier before it gets better. For number 6, we have the toxic community. Now, we all know that not all CSGO fans are toxic, and we respect and love those who do not partake in this behavior, but we feel the need to call out that the CSGO community can be quite toxic in ways that other communities are not, or at least not nearly on the same level. Of course, we have aforementioned scandals which hurt the community, but we also have people obnoxiously blaring their music over the computer, death threats, offensive weapons skins, which I guess is kind of inherent, but you know, worst of all, we have blatant cheating and frankly, too many memes. I'm gonna get attacked for saying this by all the memers. Stand strong, stand strong. There's too many memes. It feels toxic in its own unique way, and in fact, the only thing possibly close to as toxic as CSGO may be Call of Duty or Halo. Number 5, hackers. This topic was actually a community suggestion thanks to Hansen. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I was not there when he suggested it. On our Discord server, hacking is a prevalent way to cheat in the game and play by your own rules.
There's a team behind you! What the fuck, dude? There's a team behind you, dude! What? Shoot him!
On its own, in single player or local casual environment, hacks can be a lot of fun. On a competitive level, however, hacks can radically change the game and change everything to completely go in the direction that the hacker wants it to. And sadly, in CSGO, this is quite rampant. Some even make it to pro tournaments like ESEA, and this kind of ruins the game and means that your progress is stunted as the enemy can see through walls or is aim hacking, removing the incentive to just keep going and getting better at the game. New vac system, Valve please. For number 4, we have rank drops. One of the most vital things in CSGO is ranking. This is the way that you determine who is the best and who earns ultimate bragging rights.
I'll lose one game and drop 21 kills and you derank me! Gaming!
Because apparently 90% of our viewership claims to be global elites. Just kidding, I love you guys, don't worry about it. Unfortunately, Valve has been known to change the ranking system at times without any warning, causing massive waves of the horrid D-rank. While we acknowledge there are definitely good reasons behind why they implement these new ranking systems, usually to get rid of exploits and such, it hurts a whole lot of the community, especially when there's no warning, as people will lose their rank and get demoralized and leave the community and just not play the game anymore, giving room for more toxic players to take their place, a problem that you don't normally see in games like Call of Duty or Halo. And at number 3, lack of support. In terms of support, Valve has certainly been lacking in that department, especially for games like Team Fortress 2.
Go away.
And especially when it comes to making changes that fans actually want and ask for. VAC bans of cheaters can take forever to occur unless you're a pro player, in which case they happen like 30 times faster. Broken updates that take months to fix, and let's not even get started with the non-existent support for the console version, although that last one admittedly is not very bad for most players because I don't understand why anyone would play it on console. But that is beside the point. We would like to point out that it's a bad practice to not support a game because of its platform, and it gives the impression of a lazy developer. Of course, the lack of support might be because of, number 2, bad updates. On the rare occasion that Valve decides to shake up CSGO, they seem to completely screw it up in a new way.
I can imagine. Oh yeah, it one-shots in the stomach! Yeah, this is going to be so insanely overpowered.
Just being real. We mentioned this back at number 9 with the amount of game-breaking updates over the years. The astounding AUG buff, the R8 revolver, the schizophrenic changes to the CZ are all the tip of the iceberg. It not only gives the impression of a lazy developer, but also as a bad dev, it can take them months to fix these bad updates. And just remember the Wild West. I think that's the thing that most people can relate to when we talk about this. Finishing off with number 1, we have betraying trust. Of course, all of this can go back to one thing. Everything that we've ever talked about, betraying trust. And in FPS like CSGO, there has to be a trust that the devs won't go and completely screw everything up or radically change the game for the worse, because you will lose players when you do that. But on multiple occasions, Valve has violated and betrayed the trust of large portions of the player base. The bad updates, the balancing issues, the R8 revolver, the scandals, all of them are indicative of the fact that Valve seemingly continues to violate the trust that the fans put into them. It's not a problem that's just inherent with the game mechanics or its community, but it's one that's embedded in the very blood of the CSGO dev team and one that will require the biggest changes to fix. Well guys, that just about does it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this as they are made public, subscribe. Again, this video does not necessarily reflect our opinions, but it was an attempt to represent the community as a whole. If you want to enter in some sick giveaways, you can follow us on Twitter at UltraGuides, and if you want to hang out with me and the other UltraGuides members, you can join our Discord server. Because I'm there and like other team members are there, the Lord Orca's there, and you can get in on some dank giveaways, all that good jazz. If you just want to have fun and chill, come on over, you know, link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for staying till the end of the video. Stay amazing, and I will see you in the next one.